Okay. So this is a camera we don't see much of. You get the full mug today. Hopefully it's working. It looks like it's working. But if any of the levels need to be messed with, please let me know. Um, so welcome to the Monday stream. If you saw the announcement, you know, but I'm going to say for future VOD viewers or what have you, we're going to be doing something a little different today, but equally important. I am currently in the midst of dealing with some DM Game Master anxiety, and to be completely straightforward, this feeling that I have in me right now is the reason I have not run a game except for one-off attempt, and it was so strong at that point that I ran the game for maybe 3 or 4 sessions and then cut it. But this feeling that I'm dealing with right now is the reason I have not run a game in, oh my god, 6 years, something like that. Um, it's a deep, painful anxiety, mostly centered in my chest, and I did not miss it. Let me tell you, I have since, like, for those 5 years in between then and now, I have only been running for my husband because he's the person I trust most in this world, and I trust him to be honest with me, but be honest in a way that is constructive and doesn't trigger this. So yeah, if I'm a little all over the place, it's because I'm being honest and vulnerable, and this sucks. I don't like this feeling um, because of how much stuff it has ruined in the past. So just forgive me for rambling on in various ways, and if I get too personal, I apologize. There's 1,000, I'm sure, articles and YouTube videos and Reddit posts that you can use and read about uh, to get advice on dealing with this feeling. And so I'm not necessarily here to give advice. I am here to uh, get it out and to let the creative people who may be watching this either now or in the future that it happens and it's a lie. And I'm trying to convince myself of that at the same time. So I'm a, hopefully, I thought, recovering perfectionist. Dealt with that kind of stuff all my life, and I think this is the only point in my life where it rears its ugly head. Um, so yeah, that perfectionism, for some reason, D&D and running games really can trigger it pretty hard, and and it sucks because, like I said, it has killed every single one of my games. I'm not exaggerating. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna get overheated talking about this, so if I start getting red in the face, it's because I I don't do good with emotions. So this feeling that I'm having right now, it has murdered every single one of my personally run games for various reasons, and it didn't always just come from me doubting my capabilities. Sometimes it came from drama between players, or that kind of between me and a player or something like that. But it's the same feeling. It comes with the imposter syndrome, the anxiety, crying, real tears every time. Usually right before the session or like the night before. Uh, it comes with an inability to. Hey, tape player, welcome in. We're just being honest about feelings right now and how I'm dealing with or how I'm experiencing my anxiety, my DM anxiety, specifically. It, it comes... Hi, Safi. Good to see you, too. How am I? Well, I don't know which announcement you saw, but, I am in the throes of... Wrong moment to be hyped. What's up? No, 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 no. It's fine. I prefer your hype. I need the energy. We're I am talking about today. It's gonna. Hopefully, we'll get to world building a little later, but I wanted to take like the first at least half or so on of the stream to talk about the fact that I am currently in the midst of DM and game master anxiety and self-doubt or imposter syndrome, whatever you want to talk about. And hi Azul, and I am currently like in the middle of like a small panic attack. Like right here, that weight is there, and I'm being vulnerable right now. So, excuse me if I ramble or anything like that. But I've watched and read countless things about this very situation, and they have been helpful. But that has not changed the fact that the feeling that I'm dealing with right now has killed every single one of my games. Every game I've tried to play, or I've tried to run, I should say, has been murdered by this feeling. And I'm trying really hard to deal with it. And I wanted to be honest with the people that were interested, and when the VOD goes up over on YouTube, they can, harken back to it and see that they're not alone, and your mind is lying to you. Your brain is a piece of shit sometimes, and it lies to you. Um, it stacks this anxiety of, drink a lot of water, check. Realize your players are probably having a lot of fun. Well, once we start, yeah. And have had fun, and the most annoying moment is when brain agrees, it still sends the sad chemicals. Yes, exactly. Two brains. Luckily I've got my water here. And it does give you the dry mouth, it gives you the palpitations, my face might start getting red because of it, but, it comes... Let me explain how I feel it, and it's probably different for everybody, but it starts with the weight in the chest, that fuzziness in the brain, that constant, like, almost burning, wanting to cry, it's hard to catch your breath, and, it comes also with the... Hydrate my dry mouth, yes, it is good for you. Please, if you are feeling anywhere near this, please remember, just start with water. Don't drink too much coffee. I have a little bit here, but I've been just sipping it. It comes with the inability to take criticism of any type, even the best kind. I understand perfectly what you're feeling. I've had it, yeah. So, like I said, anyone out there, now or in the future, you are not alone. This is something that I'm pretty sure even the DMs out there, I think Matt Mercer even deals with this shit. He's probably spoken about it so many times. I'm of the, there's two, schools, thanks to Brennan Lee Mulligan, who pointed it out, of, how DMs react to their anxiety in the midst of the game. And it's either eating or not eating. I'm in the eating too much category, and considering I am trying to get my health under control, I'm trying really hard to, like, keep that under wraps. So, that's one thing up there. Mine comes on as paralysis, big lockup and return to easy solutions without much critical thought. Yeah, that's another one. And I'm gonna talk about what started it, and this is in no way... I am not blaming anybody. I am not saying it's their fault. This is entirely within my my ego and my mental capacity and all this other stuff, okay? So I just want to say, it just started, the little hints of it started on Friday's stream with a individual who was in chat, and they were not being mean, they were being very chill. Hear me out, eat a lot of low-calorie foods like celery and lettuce, get the crunchy satisfaction and healthy greens. Yeah, I gotta go to the store. I ate a big breakfast of, like, eggs and beans and stuff like that, so that keeps the I want to eat a whole lettuce head now. Yeah, sometimes it feels like that would be the best thing. Just gives you that satisfaction. But it could come from also the fact that uh, I had a good but long weekend, and I was very tired. I went to the Renaissance Fair, a small Renaissance fair nearby, on Saturday, and it was fantastic, and it was so much fun. But I got huge blisters on my feet because I wore the wrong shoes, like an idiot, and I was exhausted because we were in the sun all day, and I drank for the first time in like a month. So I'm guessing there's a lot of brain chemistry happening right now that kind of built upon these little feelings that started on Friday, and then they kind of came to a head this morning. So I used to also, when I was anxious, I used to overdrink while I was running the campaign. Don't do that. I got way too drunk several times in my last big group because of the anxiety. I don't allow myself really to drink if I'm running a group game anymore because of that. You're awesome, by the way. Oh, stop. Thank you. But what clued me off, you gotta gaslight your brain into sending different chemicals. I'm convinced mine to send testosterone. Oh, well, then you have a power I do not have. Uh, but I noticed it really hard because on Friday it started because a person in chat was making a lot of suggestions and I kept having to explain why, and they would continue on the suggestions, and this is not a bad thing. I want that transition goals, to be honest. Yeah, no kidding. But I want people to come in here, so please don't ever think that this is me telling you not to give you, like, not to give, like, constructive feedback or ideas or anything like that. Anxiety versus libido. Time spent campaign prepping stayed the same. Eh. But, so it started there just a bit, and I got over it, I thought. And then, then this weekend happened, it was fine. And then my dear husband, who is also the co-GM, I'm just here to bully you. No, bullying with love, that's fine, I'll take it. My husband said some things that were in line with what that person in chat last week had said. And that brought it all back up, and the fact that it was my husband, and though I trust that man with my life, and I would trust him, I trust his words, I trust what he says, but something about that hit that little ego, that sensitive part of me, and it got me into where I am now. And again, this is in no way his fault. He was just making a suggestion that he's been making suggestions for a month or more since I started planning this. So it's just this time my stupid brain decided that it was the worst thing ever. I understand. Would it be wrong to ask what the same criticism was? So last week somebody, I don't know if I want to name them necessarily, as if I'm like pointing them out, because they did nothing wrong. But the criticism basically was on the beginning of my campaign, which is rough to get criticism on, honestly, because it's literally the first thing I'm going to do for my players. They're absolutely right, first of all. So I'm going to get that out of the way. I'm telling myself that as well as announcing that to anyone that may be watching in the future. But they and my husband suggested to build upon the beginning of the arc. No shame in it, every creative person feels that in one way or another, yeah. It was not you, tape player. No, it was somebody else. It's actually nobody that's currently in chat. At least that I've seen. So they suggested that I give notes or have a like a what was it? I'm trying to remember their exact wording, but they suggested that I take a noble, like a noble had a note or letter of recommendation on behalf of the characters to give to this person to get them the job. And my husband said something similar in regards to basically having them specifically invited by the NPC that has the job as an invitation to them, not just like a job board post, because I was literally going to be like, hey, I was railroading a bit, and I was I wasn't railroading in the bad way. I was railroading so we could get started and the players didn't have to feel, you know, anxious about trying to find their way to the start of the adventure. You know, again, these are mostly new players that haven't played D&D in its classical sense. And yeah, and my husband and this person were absolutely right. Though the nobility thing was not the angle I'm going for, the general idea was right. And you know, my husband gave me the idea of the maybe the characters, because I couldn't figure out a way, because we're starting at level 1 with new characters that all just came from out, like kind of like outlands or general like places that they are not known, into this new city. So I couldn't figure out a way to have them all connected beforehand. I needed the job to be the tying thread. And that was my idea, and it was meet at a tavern because you needed a job, da da da. I was going with the tropes, again, because these people are new. They don't know the tropes, so falling back on them sometimes is a good thing. And maybe I oversimplified it, and I wasn't making them feel... The idea wouldn't make them feel special enough. You got a job start, it's better to have the players invited if they have no previous ties. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, the people that have brought this up are absolutely correct in their suggestions. So I am going to do that, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But I just having those two suggestions on top of each other, and you know, on top of exhaustion from this weekend and things like that, kind of just got to my dumb little ego, and I immediately got to that little voice in your head going, well, why even bother running? You're not going to be good enough. It's going to be garbage no matter what you do. Even if you change that, there's 100 other things that are going to be wrong, and they're not going to have fun. I have run and done the other version, though, and those went well. Yeah, yeah. It's not logical. It's my mind telling me that no matter what I do, it's going to be bad. Have you considered taking a small break? I do take breaks. I only do this 3 times a week. When I'm on stream, I am doing my game prep. Does it? I don't do it elsewhere. At least not right now. I might do it more next week because it's going to be the lead up to the fair. Yeah. To the actual beginning session. But I made sure that I did. I think in the first week I did this, I did stream 4 or 5 days that week. I don't remember. And I was like, ooh, that's exhausting. Let's not do that. So I did now I'm doing the 3 days, and that's working so far. Which, you know, might change and see where we go with that. But for now, the 3 days are fine. I don't think about the game otherwise. You gotta go in 10 minutes. That's okay. Don't worry about it. That's what the VOD is for. I have a YouTube channel. If you want to look up Unesthetic Gaming, you can look it up there. If you want to listen in. And so I am... Before you go. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Safi. May I have permission to do what I always do, derail the stream before going? Sure, go ahead. I don't mind that so much. I started working on a new character and I need thoughts. Okay, yeah, sure. This is the kind of thing that could get me back onto the horse, so to speak, so please. Kenras. Ever seen the Kenras? Is that a show? What is it? I don't know what it is. That's a cool spelling of it. I don't know what it is. It's a D&D maze with Magic the Gathering. Oh! Oh, I thought that sounded familiar. Hang on. Let me... Kenras, D&D. Hang on. I'm gonna bring that up in a second. They're jackals, Anubis people. Cool. I'm here for it. Hang on. I'm gonna get our tall and lean, graceful bodies. Very cool. Fraternal or identical twin. Interesting. Twin forms extremely close emotional bond. That's a cool idea. I like that. I love the lore and twin mechanics, so this is the thing I got. Okay. Yeah, I know nothing about Magic the Gathering, so this is all new to me. Isn't that what Strixhaven is based off of? Isn't Strixhaven technically in the Magic the Gathering universe? I bought the book and I'm like, cool, Magic University. But I didn't realize it was a Magic the Gathering thing until later. I'm just so far removed from like the gaming, like that part of the gaming community. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! 1,000 years ago when I was like 18, but after that, trading card games are not my thing. I love the art though. My friend gave me some, he got a pack of postcards. Hi Steinman, welcome on in! Yu-Gi-Oh! Hell yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, me and my friends were obsessed with the anime, it was great. The lore says that the rare case is a Kenris born without a twin. They ate it in the womb. Dope. So that's what Chike, I'm going to guess Chike, did. He is now haunted by the ghost of his twin sister. She's his patron. It's a warlock. I like that. I like that a lot. My first intro into fantasy stuff was through Magic the Gathering. That's a lot of people's first intro. We love edgy warlocks, of course. Yeah, no, that's great. I love that idea. The sister patron. Actually, weirdly, that's kind of familiar to a character I have played, not in D&D, but in Mage the Ascension, which is based off of the World of Darkness system. We've been playing it for years, and I have a character named Alice and her twin sister Alicia, and my game master took my idea and broke my heart with it and made it so that I didn't know this. I did not know this as a player. As far as I knew, she was alive and well, and she was just like the perfect twin, and Alice is a little crazy, like, irresponsible twin. And then he broke my heart, and it was my mage made her twin after she died of cancer when they were like 10. Yeah, so she's actually my avatar, which is kind of like my patron. They teach you how to do your magic and try to guide you, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's very similar, interestingly, but without the player knowledge beforehand, which was heartbreaking in the moment. Oh my god, I just tears, snot, gross, really sad moment for my character. But whoo boy, it was a good one. I have cards, but it's only to cut them up or paint them. My collector friend hates trading me cards because they know their destiny. Nice. Chike is trying not to die because he knows she is seeking revenge, and also he wants to prove to his family he's not a lonely, edgy boy. Oh yeah, you have the Prismere? Yeah. I started that campaign with my husband, and we kind of took a hiatus from it, because we went to one of our other campaigns, because we have like 6 campaigns going at any given point because we're insane. But yeah, that sounds like a great character. Chike means power of God. Very cool. I like him. Prismere, keep forgetting the name. I love that campaign so much. The edge factors are up by 1,000. Well, it's warlocks. What are you gonna do? But yeah, I always like the twin dynamic in characters. It's always fun to mess with that kind of idea, and the fact that it's in the lore is nice. I've played a goofy warlock before. Sure, yeah, of course. But, right. So, thank you for sharing that, Safi. I appreciate that, because I like the idea of the character a lot. But back to the general anxiety again of DMs and dealing with such things. And again, there's 1,000 people that have dealt with this, same idea and written up, or made a video based around the feeling of imposter syndrome or game master, anxiety. And this is probably the first time that Celestial Warlock had a Z pirate. He found a book that was initially a Bible parody, but believed it was real, and because his belief was so hard, his god actually became real for him, and his god patron to get stronger. He got to build churches and cults to get more believers. He's a healer, kind of like Jester. He sounds very cool. Um, but yeah, I wanted to take the time on the stream to talk about it and show it in its way. I'm not gonna, have a full-on breakdown or anything, but I am currently in the midst of that weight on my chest, and it's hard to breathe. So if I'm breathing heavily into the mic, I apologize. It's starting to lighten up. Talking about it helps, ladies and gents. Please remember, GMing is scary for sure. Something happened since you are discussing this. Yes and no. So I've been working on this campaign. I'm very, very excited for it for the last month and a half. I am building a world from the ground up. I have 4 brand new players. I have not run a group game for about 5 or 6 years. I still can't remember how long it's been, but it's been a while. So nothing specifically happened, but it was just a pile of different things that came upon, and my fragile little ego decided to overcompensate. I should probably dip now, so yeah, it's wizard time. Mother Fluffler's Fireball. Alright, Safi, cool. Thank you for sharing your character. I'm excited to hear more about him as you go and play him. But yeah, bye. Have a good day. But basically what happened, and again, I'm going to reiterate that nobody did anything wrong. My brain just decided to take the ball and make it 1,000 times heavier and rougher on me. So Friday's stream, somebody was making suggestions on the start of my campaign. Did I mention Chike was glowing toe beans for no reason other than cuteness? Very good. Very, very good. I'm here for that. Be a good wizard. Yeah, don't expect Safi to be good at all. For real, I dip. Okay, bye, Safi. But Friday's stream, I had somebody in chat that was very cool and was given lots of ideas and stuff, but they went down one little road, and they made some suggestions that didn't work for me, and I was trying to explain why they didn't work, and they kept making kind of similar suggestions, and I kind of had to keep explaining. So that was rough, and this was no way their fault. I want people to come in here and make suggestions. Please, please, please do not take this as if I cannot take constructive criticism, but that voice in the head comes around every now and again, but I recognize that is me, and it is not anyone out there. This is internal only. So that was Friday's stream. Then over the weekend, some stuff happened, and I was exhausted I'm still kind of tired, because I went to Renaissance Fair, and I got blisters on my feet, and I drank for the first time in like a month. So, brain chemistry is being weird too. So, and then on top of that, this morning, my husband, whom I love and who is my co-GM in this game, technically, he loves being involved in things like that. He made suggestions on how to change the beginning of my campaign. Now, I had previously just had the idea. You can always note the ideas down and tell them you might use it for a later point, and if you feel obligated to use suggestions. Oh yeah, no. Yeah, that's not what caused this. My husband gives a lot of notes. He goes to work, and he listens to my stream on the VOD on YouTube, and he comes home with piles of sticky notes for suggestions and ideas, which I appreciate endlessly. I will continue to reiterate that, because I need that. Because again, the reason this stream is happening is because I suffer to create in a vacuum. Hi, Thumbs. That's my cat. Um, but so he made suggestions in a similar vein of basically he was saying, and this is how I took it. This is not what he was saying. Okay, I'm gonna specify that. What I took it as was the beginning of your game that you have. Yes, lovely support. Yes, he's a wonderful support. But basically, what he said was not what my brain heard, and my brain heard your beginning is not good enough, and it doesn't make the players feel good enough, so it's bad. Not what he said at all, in any way. And my whole brain decided to take the entirety of the campaign and say, that means it's bad. Why even try? And that's what I'm dealing with literally right now. I'm currently in the midst of a like mini panic attack with a weight on my chest, and having difficulty breathing and dry mouth. Speaking of which, excuse me. Um, so, and I've spent the morning, and I let him know. I'm just like I'm feeling like this. And he was making helpful suggestions, and he's just like, "Do you need space?" And I was like, let me do the stream, and I'll let you know how I feel." And he's like, "Cause I have more ideas," cause he's listening to the Friday stream, and he's like, "You want me to hold off on the ideas for a while?" I'm like, "I'll let you know how I feel later." And sometimes you need that, and you need somebody that's willing to understand that. But this is the first time that this has happened to me before the campaign has actually started. The campaign is due to start February 10th. So I have been building this world and building the campaign for about 2-3 months. I've had the idea for a while, but it's been like two months of active planning now. And that little voice in my head today was just like, well, scrap it all, fuck it, you're bad. And it's wrong. I want to put that out there for the GMs in the future. It's wrong. That voice in your head is full of shit, and your chemicals are dumb. While planning things for TTRPGs, I also have problems with feelings, either mine or the players, usually how they might feel. For me, it's helped a lot to think more about if something is interesting or not, rather than good versus bad. Yeah, exactly. But of course, the anxiety voice in your head only sees black and white, and it's really annoying. Sorry, I'm checking up on my cat. What are you chewing on your... Are you okay? Did you hurt yourself? Okay, no, he's fine. So I just wanted to come on stream today and talk about this because, though it has been talked to and written about 1,000 times before, I don't think a lot of people have gotten on, to record themselves actually going through it, if you want to take it that way. And I wanted to talk about how it felt, and I wanted to also kind of tell myself, and for the people in the future watching this, that voice is wrong, and this is just as much a pep talk for me as it is for anyone in the future that might need one. And it's kind of a in real time moment of pulling myself out of a really stupid, nonsensical depression that could tank my game before it starts, and I'm not letting it do that. I am desperately not letting it do that. So yeah, my husband made some suggestions, and I'm going to take them because he is right. The start of the game will be not completely different, but it'll be better. It will be better. And it also his idea inspires the creation of physical props, which I absolutely love, like letters. I'm gonna be making physical letters, classic tea-stained paper and things like that, which I love to do. It's super fun, and I look for any reason at all to create a little crafty prop thing that I can use. So, so I'm gonna do that, and it's gonna be fun. I'll have pictures of those on the over on the Discord or the Instagram if you're looking to see those, make sure you follow the channel. I will talk about those as well. Um, and over on Insta. And if you want a link to the Discord, please message me personally. Just whisper me, or you can message me on Instagram. Because we had some people in chat that were not chill, and I don't want them to get access to the Discord. Um, my first time DMing, I did the Minds of Fandelver. Hey, that's how I started with 5e. With a bunch of changes, I definitely had the same thoughts. Yeah. Yeah. Fandelver is a great starting adventure. But yeah, the minute you put your own touch on anything, which of course you have to, you can't run just from the book. Otherwise, you might as well just be reading a book to your players, which is not the vibe. Um, but yeah, the minute you have to, and it's not a fear of improvisation. Improvisation, when I get to make stuff up on the fly, that's my favorite part. It really is. It's my favorite part. But because yes, focusing on the parts that are fun is a good start, yeah. I've been working on a custom map for a Spelljammer campaign, which turned out to also be stressful, but in a productive way at least. Yeah, there you go. Um, but, I love being able to, like, respond to the player's ideas. But I guess partially I'm afraid because these players are all younger than me by at least 10 years. Some 20 years, which is probably the youngest I've ever gamed with, and I'm not sure how that dichotomy works, and we're going to figure that out as we go. So that's a new thing that I'm gonna have to, figure out. And again, it's a completely custom world. I'm figuring it out from the world creation, uh, not world creation myth, but the world creation story of the world and pushing and onward. So I've like taken worlds and I've started creating them, but it's different when you're trying to like be like, okay, and the gods did this, and now that's basically the Big Bang kind of thing. I ended up scrapping that adventure after the first session, partially because I was self-doubting and I found the Sunless Citadel that made me way more excited. There you go. And I guess that ADHD spontaneousness, it turned out to be an awesome campaign. Well, hey, you run what you're interested in. That's what this game is. This game is specifically built kind of like as a place I would want to spend time in, because it makes me want to DM and plan more if I want to spend time in the world. And instead of just like in a Faerun campaign, it's not just research, it's actually building it into something you enjoy. And since this campaign is a little different from the customary ones, it's more of a cozy campaign based around, I've said this before, but it's based around kind of like Stardew Valley vibes, Minecraft, Little Witch in the Woods, that kind of thing. Like, it's a cozy, nice campaign. It's hard to think about things that are still within the D&D sphere, but they're cozy. I got the idea from a RuneSmith video, which was very good, and I enjoyed it, and it really made me want to run that kind of game. But it takes a lot of planning, and a lot of understanding what your players want, and the players are all brand new, pretty much, except for one or two, or like, they've been playing like other campaigns that are more simplified because they're in a huge group of like 10 to 12 to 15 people sometimes. So everything has to be simplified. This is their first time like playing D&D like as it is. And that it's difficult. It was intense the first time I learned, and so I understand where they're coming from, but I'm just hoping that I can balance the narrative and the mechanical in a way that they enjoy. So that's, and I'm really bad at the mechanical aspect of it. So that's what my husband is for. He's really good at the numbers. So I'm just there to make things, happen, and he's just like, here's how it makes sense with the mechanics. So yeah, that weight is still there, and it's probably not going to go away until who knows? I don't know. Maybe it'll last until I actually start the campaign, and maybe it won't stop. But luckily, this won't be a once a month, or excuse me, once a week campaign. It's going to be every other week, so I think that gives me plenty of time. If you ever get sick of your husband, can I have him? No. I won't get sick of him. It's been 17 years, almost 18 years. Jesus Christ. Uh, we've been together. So, no. I now hold claimants over him because I've literally known him as long as his mother has. um, but, he sounds so lovely. He is. He's wonderful. He sometimes stops by on the stream. So I'm sure you'll be able to meet him officially. He's been on there. If you want to check out the VODs on my YouTube channel, he's there in a couple bits. But yeah, he's great. He's definitely my support. He's definitely my rock in regards to that kind of stuff. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it and how I'm feeling, and I wanted to talk through it, I guess. And I want to reiterate, if any of my players are in and watching this either now or later, just please know that you're not doing anything wrong. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with me and my brain. Yeah, I just wanted to put that kind of... Oh, Jesus Christ. Thank you for the follow, Steinman. God damn, that's loud. I have it set really loud. Thank you so much. Oh, I don't have my little thingies pop up on my full face cam. I gotta fix that. That's okay. But yeah, there's, this is just something that happens, and again, like I said, I'm sure every DM has to deal with it in one way or another. I'm pretty sure there's no DM out there that's just like, I got it, I could do this all day, blah 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 blah. There's too many moving parts for one person to be completely confident in it. Maybe there is some DM that is that sure of themselves, and I don't know if I want to meet that person, because I don't know, man. That kind of confidence is on the line of like sociopathy or something. I don't know what that is, but it ain't something I got. But yeah, so today you have to be a bit delusional and constantly tell yourself it's gonna be fine. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's important to get it out there and be honest with it, because if all you do is watch your actual plays of like DMs like killing it, you can very easily get into the assumption that everybody but you can do this, and it's absolutely untrue. Matt Mercer, Brendan Lee Mulligan, Abria Iyengar, all of them, they all deal with that, and just, anybody in the community deals with that kind of stuff. God forbid it's your first game. That's terrifying. God, I can't even remember how scared I was the first time I ran a game. Did not go well. But, I mean, it lasted for a surprisingly long time, my first game, but, yeah. There's been a lot of situations that I've been in running games, or playing in games, of course, and sometimes your brain just gets the better of you. I had a player complain she didn't feel immersed as when she watched Critical Role. See, oh god. See, I started DMing before all that stuff took off, so I luckily was, I didn't have that comparison, but, yeah, if you ever... Oh my god, drop that fucking player. Drop that player so hard. I love Matt Mercer. I love Brendan Lee Mulligan. I love all of them so much. I love watching them. I find them entertaining. Are you gonna pay me a couple $1 million to run you a game? Because you're not Travis. You're not Liam. You're not, Laura fucking Bailey. You're not as good as any of them, so what the fuck are you coming at me for, saying I'm not as good as Matthew Mercer? It's like, correct. I'm different. I'm not, I'm building a game for you. You want to play Matthew Mercer? Go get a couple million and save up and pay him, because that's what you're gonna need. Fuck that noise. No, 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 no. Matthew Mercer, bless his heart, love him. He's not supposed to be the standard of D&D. That's not how this works. Okay? And anyone that thinks it is, fuck off. Educate yourself. That's why I'm doing this stream. That's another thing, to go back to the original reason I started doing this. This is not a typical stream. I just want to make sure people understand that. I explained to her that I'm not a team of campaign writers and builders. She was accepting afterwards. Accepting is not good enough. She better fucking beg for forgiveness. But, uh, okay. The reason I started this stream was so people could see how much work a person puts into. It's so disrespectful, it is. I'm sure you were your friends, so I understand that you were probably forgiving, and maybe that's just how they are sometimes, but like, bruh. But I made this stream because I wanted people to A, see how world building works in a fantasy campaign from the ground up. I wanted people to understand how much work it is for somebody. I guess I'm not as hurt by it. Yeah, see, I would just... I don't know how I would deal with that. I'd be like, wow, that's not... It's just not cool. But you're probably a more mature person than I am. But, and this stream is to show that DMing and world building takes a lot of work. It takes real time out of a person's life. You get one, and they're deciding to take a significant amount of their time to make something entertaining for you. And this is not saying, like, you should accept any DM that comes along your way because they put time into it. Absolutely not. There are plenty of just toxic DMs that will put 40 hours a week into their campaign or what the fuck ever, but that doesn't mean they're not an asshole. You know, you don't, you know, if you're not meant for a campaign, or if they're not going to be cool while running a campaign, then there's no amount of time is going to change that. But I'm not going to ever do an actual play of... I might do audio. That's something I've talked to my players, and as of right now, they're not comfortable with having our audio, you know, the audio I'm going to be recording of the sessions online. Maybe that will change later. If not, that's fine. But I'm not going to be doing actual plays. There's plenty of actual plays out there, and they're awesome and brilliant, and very cool people making them. So I feel like we're a bit saturated for choice in that regard. So I wanted something that I could do and would inspire me to create and write more, because I'm really bad at doing it by myself and inspiring myself to do so. And I also, at some point, I wanted to see how other people design their gaming notes. And I think it was Cassette that was talking about they wanted to see me, how I set up my campaign notes in Notion, which I will be doing. I'd kill to have friends to make a little podcast with. I mean... if it becomes a podcast, that sounds awesome. But right now there's no plans. But maybe sometime in the future, we'll see how comfortable they get. Yeah, we'll see. But right now the audio will just exist for us to listen to and harken back to. So it'll still be fun to be able to do that even with just us. But yeah, so yeah, I just, at some point, like a couple years ago, I think it was around COVID, I was, you know, running games for just my husband and me, and I'm better at doing things when I have a body double. So if somebody else is doing the same thing, I do better at doing that thing. So I was looking for people on Twitch that would stream their campaign prep. There wasn't a lot of it, and that kind of bummed me out. And so I started doing it like years ago. Oh my god, excuse me. And I did find two creators. I can't remember the name of them now, but one was an artist that would just do art streams, but also do his campaign prep like one day a week. And he was incredible. His art was so good. I wish I could remember his name, but that became a kind of comparison for me as well, because I was looking at his art and going, I'll never do that. okay, cool, but I still enjoyed his world building streams and it was very cool. And then another one was a female streamer, and she, again, they both only did it once a week. I don't want to do all my D&D prep only once a week, because it gets it. I I have suspected ADHD in that I have way too many symptoms of ADHD to ignore, but I can't afford to go get a test and medication, so I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. So I do better when things are not just out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. So I wanted to do something, or wanted to see somebody else do it as much as I wanted to do it. Nobody was, so I was like, time to make it happen, I guess. So I did it. I started doing it like a month ago, something like that. Was that, God? Has it been a month? Jesus Christ. Something like that. It's been 3 weeks, maybe. I don't know. Either way. So, and it's also a way for me to connect with other creatives out there, that are also world building. So even if I'm just the background noise while you're writing your stuff, great. I'm totally here for my lurkers and stuff. Like, you don't need to be, like, always, active in the chat for me to appreciate you. I know how you feel. I'm diagnosed but unmedicated and can't get meds for a while. Yeah, I mean, that happens for a lot of people. But so and I also wanted to have a little corner of the internet where creatives could come and trade the work in progresses that they're doing, and their ideas on each other's stuff, and everybody's cool about it. And part of that comes with the anxiety, because if somebody comes up with a better idea, you go, oh, well, shit, sometimes. And I've been, up until this weekend, I was fine with it. All the suggestions that people came up with, great. Took some of them, put them down, that kind of thing. And I got, this weekend or Friday or whatever, my ego got in control, and that comes with this anxiety. And I need to tell that part of me to shut up because whatever I run, my players are going to appreciate. I'm pretty damn sure. I've known them for quite a while now. I'm asking them a whole bunch of questions as I go, and so I'm sure that what I'm writing is something that they want to be a part of. But it still comes with that anxiety because of there's those so many moving pieces and parts. Those are parts of me on the paper, on the world, in the campaign, in that moment. And it's hard sometimes to let your ego just let it go. So this is me teaching myself how to do that. And you guys get to watch that happen. And I wanted to be honest about this moment of how this is affecting me and how I'm gonna work through it, and I'm still gonna run this goddamn game. And there might be other streams like this in the future, especially as I play or as I run the game. So look forward to that, I guess. But hopefully, with everybody out there, like you guys watching and being cool and commenting, and everybody, the supportive structure of the community, my husband, my players, that little voice will slowly die away, and I can be at least sure of myself more often than not. Um, so yeah, that that's, I think, all that I wanted to get out in regards to the anxiety and the imposter syndrome. It's going to happen. It's probably going to happen to you, future DMs and current DMs. It's something that happens, and it's part of the journey, I guess, if you wanna take the hippy dippy approach to it. But all right. Uh, so let me pull up what I need. Give me 2 seconds. Get rid of this. Do, 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 do. All right. Okay. Alright. And got to go there. Okay, there we go. No more mug. Alright. uh, so, I'm going to go over some things real quick. I don't know if tape is still in the chat or cassette. I still don't know which one you prefer, tape or cassette, but either one. You know who I'm talking about. But they eventually want me to do a breakdown of how I organize my thoughts here on Notion, which I am probably going to do like just a YouTube video on, just because it'll be easier to edit and have it, and people can harken back to it that way. So I'll be working on that eventually, sometime, probably after the actual session or the actual campaign starts. Just so I have that out of the way, and that big anxiety. That's probably where a lot of this anxiety is coming from too, is because I have to wait. You know, waiting to start something is rough when you put so much work into it. And I guess today I can look at my starting notes here. Hang on, where are we? Oh, actually, they're not. They're on Google Docs. So I use Notion for like as a wiki, basically, and Google Docs are the actual notes of that I'm going to have as a DM in my hands while running the campaign. So it includes, you know, your general breakdown of the session, and then you know, the actual notes of like how they're going to go through that adventure, that campaign, whatever it is. So I'm gonna say it again. My players: Nubia, Evelyn, Azalea, and Spore. If any of you are watching currently or watching the VOD, the spoilers are starting now. Okay? So if you want to click away, if you've listened this far, I greatly appreciate it. Because you can understand that this stuff kind of happens to me, and understand that it's not your fault. But the spoilers are going to start now because I'm going to be rewriting some stuff for the beginning of the campaign. So, please click away, and you can watch the rest of this after the campaign starts. Okay. So, actually, I'll take that as a spoiler break. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then we'll start the campaign stuff. So, I'll be right back. Hi, Andrew! I'm just about to go to the bathroom, but good to see you. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Hi again, Andrew. Welcome in. We spent the first half of the stream talking about my current bout of imposter syndrome and game master anxiety. And I'm still in the throes of it, so if you see my face start to turn red or I sound like I'm out of breath, it's because I'm having trouble breathing because I'm kind of like in the middle of like the mini panic attack. It's going away, but it's there. But I'm working through it. I'm gonna press on. Don't worry, I will be taking a break. Tuesdays and Thursdays I don't stream, and I don't stream on weekends. So I'm not forcing myself in the bad way, but I'm soldiering on, if you will. But we're getting back to the world building now. I just gave a spoiler warning for my players once again, because I'm going to rewrite some beginning notes here for how everything's going to start. Um, so, so this is basically right here. This is all kind of gonna go away, or at least be added on to. But so again, there it is a really simple beginning, and I'm going to figure out how to make that better because it can be better. And as soon as this, so basically, okay, that goes away. Don't need that. All right, so here we go. Once again, I am trying to avoid certain pitfalls of your normal D&D game. That includes a strangely casual fantasy racism that is in a lot. You know, your people calling elves knife ears and orcs dealing with general distrust and stuff like that. So I'm trying to avoid that in this world because this world is not like ours. First and foremost, this world is unlike ours in a lot of ways, and I'm making this game cozy. I don't need that kind of tension. I don't want my players to have to deal with that kind of thing in this particular game because I want it truly to be an escapist game, and there is nothing wrong with that. Those stories of xenophobia, racism, classism, that kind of thing, those are all important stories, and I have told them before, but I'm not telling them in this game. Not this campaign right now. So I basically have the task ahead of me of the players or the characters will have had issues up until now trying to find jobs within Hollow Hill. The classic sense of doing that would be because of various racism. There is a goblinoid in here. There is a gynosphinx, which is completely unrecognized. And the other two are more accepting races, but there's things about them that constitute them as other, so to speak. So I need to let them know that they have been having issues with finding a job, and then they will be presented with a letter from an interested party that has a job for them, basically. So, because of your general... See, this is... Okay. This is not... Okay. My ego is getting convoluted with my, my mind. Because I'm trying so hard to avoid things like that, like xenophobia and stuff. The classic, you guys are newcomers and not trusted, doesn't work. So why aren't they being given jobs? Maybe there are none. Uh, and I have trouble communicating these things sometimes when people make a suggestion. Like this morning when my husband made that suggestion, I was trying really hard to explain why I don't think that will work. Why I don't think making a specific call to these characters works, because in the world there's no xenophobia, there's no racism. So there's no reason that they couldn't find a job, which is why I was just starting with, you found a job, moving on. Because it kind of got past all that stuff. But now, a way cooler party got it assigned right in front of them. Maybe because this place is also, because Hollow Hill, this city, is a trading hub. Maybe it's just other people are just getting those jobs faster, and maybe they don't know the ins and outs of the structure of the city, so they were having difficulty finding it, of where to go for their jobs. And so, okay, let's say each of you has had a difficult time obtaining any regular work due to your unfamiliarity with the area and how the city conducts its business. There we go. Its business. You have watched others be offered a job right in front of you. No, because that sounds xenophobic, doesn't it? Goddamn. I'll just worry about the details later. But one day each of you awake with a letter waiting for you. And then I'll have a physical representation of this letter available to them, which I will work on making maybe this week or next week. We'll see. So let's do... I don't know if I should do individual letters. Would be cooler for each of them to have. Okay, yeah, I probably should do individual letters, huh? Okay. So, I'll need one for Spore, oops, Nubia, Azalea, I think I spelled that wrong. Hello. Azalea. Yeah, no, that's right. No? Whatever. I'll fix it later. I'm losing the momentum. I'm doubting. Again, doubt! Yay! You know, even in my spelling. Jesus Christ. And Evelyn. So, okay. So here's what we gotta do. So I have the character that is giving them the job is called Flora. She is a moth folk from the Feywild. Are you okay with suggestions? Yes, I am. I promise. If I have a bad reaction, please do not take it personally. I'm dealing with some stuff, but right now I need you to, yeah, if you have suggestions, please, please, please. Just because it'll get me in that mindset again and it will help. Okay. So I need something that Flora has on each of them, basically. I promise that I won't take offense if you don't use it. Okay, great. Good, good, good. But yes, I want people to feel free to make suggestions and ideas at any time. Okay, so... I also need to write out some more of the kind of flashback character intros that I have. I only have one kind of drafted out. I really need to buckle down and work on those. I will probably do those outside of stream, just because I don't know if you guys are going to be interested in watching me write a scene. Would you? Would you be interested in that? Would anybody want to watch me? Because it's just going to be a lot of quiet and music and me thinking, and maybe every now and again I'll be like, what's the word for this random thing that I need a word for? You know, it's like, it'll be just me talking to myself, kind of. Is there an event that has led an extra big amount of adventurers to travel to this town and hence making work hard to get? That's an interesting idea. That was somebody, yeah, somebody brought up events happening in the city or the world at the time of the beginning of the campaign. Okay. Okay, so an event. What kind of event would have a bunch of adventurers coming to one town? I mean, it could be, you know, something like a holiday or some such thing. Assuming it's adventurers work. Yeah, kind of. Again, these are level 1. So it's kind of, so they're getting the bones left behind from the bigger adventurers. So it is an escort job. It's literally to get them to a place. This is the city. You know, sometimes I wonder if it's not better to just start them where I need them to go, but that doesn't give them buy-in, nor does it give them a place to start and talk to each other, which is why I'm starting them in this city, and the whole point is for them to leave this city to go to this small steading where they're going to help create a community, basically. That's the general idea of the campaign. And like the last time I had a campaign where... Is it a one-shot? Hi, DM Chromie! It is not a one-shot. It is a campaign that I hope lasts until at least level 10. I don't know. These are all new players, and I haven't run a group game in, you know, at least half a decade. Change of leadership, maybe a festival for a specific god that benefits adventurers, or perhaps just a really fun traveling circus showed up. That could be. Nothing wrong with starting in media res. What does media res mean? I don't know what media res means, sorry. Maybe a festival of specific god. Okay, where are my gods? Gotta get my gods, hang on. See if I get any ideas from here. So Bahamut is the god of heroes, hope, and bravery. Okay, so it could be a festival of Bahamut, which would be fun. Okay. In media res, starting where the action is. Oh yeah, that's... Is it a harboring city? Maybe the fantasy version of Titanic, leaving in a few days. Interesting. Here, let me bring up my... Because you two are both new to my chat. You don't know all of the ins and outs of this world. Let me kind of give the general elevator pitch, okay? So, this is Galdor. I don't know if that's the name of an actual thing that's already existed, but I named it Galdor because it was the first thing that came to me. Okay, so this... I'll start with the out of character, and then I'll talk about the narrative in a minute. So, the pitch that I basically gave to my players, because they're all young, femme-presenting people that we have been playing in another game together for, but that game, we meet together once a week to have a little coffee club with a bunch of friends, and a DM or a D&D campaign kind of came out of that. Pew pew laser hugs. Llama llama. Hey Mike, you made it! Wow, you're not at work today. I like this map. Thank you. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. Oh god, this is gonna be hard. Okay. So Mike's here too. My god. Okay. All right. So elevator pitch of the campaign first of all. Just got home from work. Good lord. Ugh, it's early. Okay. Well, I'm glad you dropped in. I appreciate that very much. I'm so close to 50 followers. Um, but anyway. Okay. So this game is made to be cozy. Big word. Cozy over my head. Okay? That is my whole reason for starting this. If any of you are familiar with Runesmith over on YouTube, he's a fantastic D&D creator. Watch his videos. He is hysterical. He does the Basically series, where it's like basically barbarians or basically like a monster, or basically whatever. He's very, very funny. I really enjoy his stuff. A little while back, I was looking to do a cozy campaign. Okay, Steinman, you know him. Okay. Uh, he did a video about a cozy campaign that he's doing about a group of players that all have like their own um, skill that they work at. Like, one's like a businesswoman, one's a taxidermist, one's like a hunter, one's, whatever. So so he basically takes his players, puts them in a place where they get trapped in that area, um, uh, either by obligation or physically. I'm doing the physically thing. We'll get to that in a minute. And so the whole idea of it is for them to start their businesses in this tiny little town, and it's like a steading. It is itty bitty in this world. Dibs on businesswoman. Yes. Ooh, barracuda. Sorry, I don't know why I thought about that. I don't know why that song hit me in that regardless. Anyway, but so I have my players, and again, we all played together in this huge group. So it was like 10 to 15 players at times for the one DM. And he was running it very fast and loose because he had to, and it was very just AD&D, go to the dungeon, fight some stuff, get cool stuff, go back, go to the dungeon again, fight some stuff, get cool stuff, go back. And the stories had to be very basic because all of these people have, like, at least the majority of the people at the table had never played RPGs before in any form, okay? So me and my husband were the veterans. So a couple of them kind of, migrated to us, and we'd make friends and we'd talk about stuff, and they'd always be impressed by us going outside of the general rule and being really upspoken and going, "Hey, could I do this, this, and this?" And they're going, "You can do that? I didn't know you were allowed to, like, just do anything." And I'm like, "Yeah, no, that's the whole point." So I digress. That's how I met these girls that are going to be at my table, my girls and theys and he's, and so they all were very cool and seemed to want to get more into the role-playing aspect. And I've been wanting to get back into the game of group play again because my anxiety stopped me from it. So I was looking for ideas for cozy campaigns. I found the Runesmith video. I'm basically running that, but with my own... I miss the in-person games. Yeah, me too, which is why I'm doing this. So I floated it to them like 2-3 months ago. Hey, I want to run a campaign, but you need to understand, it's only going to be 4 of you, and it's going to be like a real D&D campaign. We're going to be playing the actual system, and there will be roleplay. I need you all to understand that, because they've never had the option really to do a whole hell of a lot of roleplay, because the DM can't fit it all in. It's rough. So, and the other DM is super cool, and we got to talk about it. We were at the Ren Fair this weekend, and he was talking about it, how he was excited for them to be part of my campaign, because they're also going to be playing in his. They're basically going to be like the full Saturday. They're just going to be playing D&D. It's going to be great. But so I was just like, okay, I want to do a campaign based around like Stardew Valley, Minecraft, Little Witch in the Woods, if you're familiar with that, because I had just gotten done playing that game and it's super adorable and I had a lot of fun. And like just cozy, sweet games like that. I want to make NPCs for you to interact with, maybe fall in love with. I want you guys to roleplay with together. I want you guys to tell me your backstories. I want to build upon those backstories. I want to make a world for you. And that is what Galdor has become. So, here we are in Galdor. So the general idea narratively of Galdor, first of all. Again, we're staying cozy. I tried really hard in talking about how Galdor was created to avoid the classic, there was a war between gods, and some shit happened, and now there's a world for some reason, or like it's been broken apart, whatever. You know, the sad background family drama that most games start with, most worlds start with. I wanted to avoid that. So, Galdor is one planet, basically planet. It's actually flat. Ryutama, yes, I'm familiar with it, is the most adorable and cozy RPG I've ever run. It's the kind of system where forgetting your umbrella and getting rained on can be as damaging as a dragon multi-attacking you in D&D. That's fun. Yeah, Ryutama I really want to run, but if you ever have room for a Seasons Veterans, you know how to reach me. Also loving the hair. Thanks, yeah. I cut it all off on the first. It's gonna go back to pink eventually. I just gotta figure out the style, but I need a lot more length to get back to it. So Galdor is a flat world, first of all, which was fun to figure out the physics of, because Galdor is a tree. The top of a tree, specifically. So what you're looking at right now is basically a bird's eye view of looking down at a tree. Okay? This is all branches and stuff. And then the water is kind of the deeper parts where the branches go down into the trunk of the tree. Now, let me go back to my blob drawing because my husband hasn't been able to draw this yet. He wants to draw a full representation of this, but for now we all have the blob. This is the best I can do. Come on. Blob! So this part here, this green part, is the part you're looking down on here, okay? The veil is the in-between, and the evershade is your underdark. It's the part of the tree that doesn't get sun. So, now, that tree is actually stay with me here. It's sprouting out of another tree. Tree's all the way down. We're going a little bit Discworld with it, apparently. I've never read Discworld. I really need to, because apparently I'm accidentally coming up with Discworld concepts, and I didn't even realize it. I'm accidentally stealing from Sir Terry Pratchett, whom I love. So, there's another big tree that is overhanging in a garden of the gods, the grove, if you will, okay? And Melora, who's kind of like the Zeus of the Pantheon, even though she's not really the boss. Treeception, yes. She's not really the boss, or at least she tries not to be. But she's kind of the overseer of this grove, the Wild Mother. And each god gets a plot of land that they get to create their own world in, and equally represented. Now, on the top, there are these gods, and on the underside, so a mirror of what we just looked at, right? The top and the Evershade are both, there's the top and bottom. Now the garden has a top and bottom as well. In the middle, there's that big tree, which is your sun and your moons and stuff, the things that provide the light to the planets. And that's tended over by Melora. She has that center plot. And then the other plots are surrounding it, and on the other underside are the roots of that tree, which on that side looks like a dead tree because there's no leaves. Now on that side, the Raven Queen is boss bitch, and then the other plots around her side are a bunch of dark gods that are dark mirrors to the top gods, okay? I might be really bad at describing this. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, it's under Unaesthetic Gaming at YouTube. You can see my husband explain it way better than I can. My phone decided to die. I just caught from when you explained you let yourself inspire by Stardew Valley and similar games. Oh, fuck. That was a while ago now. But yeah, it's a cozy game, and therefore I'm trying to avoid certain tropes in fantasy that I'm really tired of. That includes sexism. Tired of that. I also include xenophobia and racism. None of that in my world. And I know that's an easy way to go and get tension in your games, but I don't want that kind of tension in my games. So, basically, it's a very cozy game where the players are going to be heroes, and they're probably going to be OP, and I'm probably going to be too nice and give them too many magic items, but I don't care. So, basically. But again, if you want to go to YouTube and look up on Unesthetic Gaming on YouTube, that's my YouTube channel, and you can look at my description of this world from the very beginning. You can see the map creation, you can see us choosing gods and things like that. I have to vouch for having the Moon Jelly Festival happening at some point. Yeah, I mean, we might. It might be something like that. I'm very excited for I have to create a calendar. That's probably my next big thing, because I've never done that before. So, Stardew makes it easy with just the month-long, like, seasons. I don't think I'm gonna go that simplistic, but it might be close. But, so you've got the two sides of the grove. The grove and the grave are basically the two sides of the celestial realm, if you want, where the gods live. They each have their plot of land, and then the tree in the middle, which holds the sun and the moon, or multiple moons. I haven't decided. And then again, Melora's boss bitch on the top, Raven Queen's boss bitch on the bottom, good gods up top, darker gods on the bottom. Again, darker. Gonna mark out all the NPC's B-days. I might. So, and I'm trying to avoid the classic tropes of scary gods and too many demons, because oh my god. Okay, this is really hard to do in an elevator pitch. My husband would be so much better at this. And when you see my blob, you notice there's something in the middle, the veil. That is a point in between the Evershade and the Overstory, which is basically the top and bottom. The veil is like Hollow Earth, if you are familiar with the old theory of Hollow Earth. They kind of played with it in Kong versus Godzilla. Summon Stefan. He's at work. I wish I could. But the veil is the in-between space between the Overstory and the Evershade, where... You stop that. My cat's being an asshole. I'm sorry. Where portals and stuff will randomly show up to other planes. And that's how the other gods get things in there. You know, the creatures and the peoples that, you know, came from other planets. So, again, we're still mirroring this in the greater celestial realm. If you're familiar with the term "as above, so below," I'm fucking with that a lot. So if you look at like how your eyeball looks a lot like certain galaxies, like as you are as an individual, and parts of you mirror nature in much larger ways, I'm messing with that. So Galdor is meant to be a mirror of what the entire celestial realm looks like. So the celestial realm has an in-between as well. I haven't figured out a name for it yet. That's where the hells are. So the hells, instead of being this place where only damned souls go or whatever, the hells is a place that exists outside of the judgment or ire of either the light or dark part of the celestial realm. The hells are where the rebels go. So if you want to look at the classic Lucifer story of like, he goes, "Fuck you, Dad, I'm gonna start my own shit because, you know, whatever." This sounds awesome. Thank you, Mike. I try really hard. I've been doing this for like a month and a half now. It's really hard to create a world from the ground up. So the hells are where you don't get sent to hell. You choose to go to hell. So if you want to think about the idea of like an atheist in the D&D realm is basically impossible, because everybody knows the gods exist because there's real proof that the gods exist. The hells are where the people that, despite knowing the gods exist, they don't like the gods. They don't believe in the gods as individuals. They don't believe they offer anything to creation or to the people. So they go to hell. They choose to go to hell. You choose to go to hell. So hell is filled with these rebels that still like fucking with stuff on either side. But they're outside of the whole judgment and anything of the gods themselves. So which is why they base everything on contracts and things like that, because that is the rule of law. There's no morality in hell. It's just contracts and what you agree or disagree to, basically. So yeah. Whew, oh boy. So that's most of what we figured out. Now, as for my dear characters slash players, mostly the characters, I've got 4. I have Nubia, who is a Gyna Sphinx, the first free Gyna Sphinx in history. Gyna Sphinx in this world are specifically summons from another plane. I haven't figured out what yet. Oh, also, I'm sorry, zooming back out to the planes and stuff. You know how in classic D&D cosmology you have the Feywild and the Shadowfell are meant to be mirrors of the material plane, right? So the Feywild is basically supposed to be the material plane but turned up to 11, and like everything's like really trippy and crazy. And then the Shadowfell is the dark mirror of the material plane, taking all of the bad parts of the material plane and turning those up to 11, right? Okay. So we still have the Feywild and the Shadowfell, but instead of mirrors, for no really good reason that I can figure out, the Feywild is the dream space of Melora, and the Shadowfell is the dream space of the Raven Queen. So there's your mirror. We have the light and the dark mirror of the tree that is creation, right? I swear to God, I'll get a good physical like drawing of this to show everybody at some point. But so you have like basically a coin in the center, big fucking tree in the middle with another little tree coming out of it, and then you have the light side with the tree and then the dark side with the roots, right? I hope I'm making sense. That's what the cosmology looks like. All right. And then I have my gods figured out. I'm still figuring out if I want to add more, because we were actually having trouble figuring out more concepts for gods to, imbue or embody, I should say. So we might be done, we might not, because we wanted 12 because it was supposed to be like a clock. So we wanted Melora and the Raven Queen, which are like their own thing, and then 12 outside of that, but I think right now we only have 8. So yeah, I don't know, but I was researching gods for so long I got bored of it, so now we're moving back over here. Oh my god, this is hard to explain. Oh my god. I hope. God of tickles. I hope I'm making sense. For my new people, so let me know if you have any questions, because it'll probably help me think of things that I need to figure out. So let me just... Okay, so let me put this in bold so I know it's a DM note, basically. Event that has more adventures in this city than normal, therefore less jobs. Okay. I can't spell. Alright. So, but yeah, I thought about Ryutama for this, but my players have only ever touched D&D, so we're gonna mess with that. If I have to, I'll switch over, switch over systems, but I don't own Ryutama physically, and I prefer physically to PDFs, because my ADHD for some reason doesn't like reading on a screen. Uh, unfortunately, because it would save me a lot of fucking money if it did. But so yeah, hopefully I have the general world filled out. Where we are right now is Hollow Hill, which is right here on the edge of a big lake. So the Jelly Festival may happen here or elsewhere. Um, and yeah, again, the suggestion of Chromie suggesting starting where the action is. Generally, yes. I understand that a lot, my good friend, where is it? My good friend Sly Flourish suggests starting with a fight. And I understand that, but that is not the vibe I'm going with for this game, which is why I am not. Normally I would. In this game, not exactly what I'm going for. So I've decided to, because I want to introduce the players to roleplay quickly, and because they know combat. They've done combat. Maybe a tournament where each god is represented by a hero or group of heroes. Ooh, that sounds fun too. Okay, but again, I don't want the players to want to stick around too long in the city because the whole point is to meet up in the city and then leave the city. So I don't want to make this too cool. So that, you know, heroes. We'll just put that down there. But so yeah, hopefully I didn't bore any of you with my attempt at describing what the fuck is going on. It's hard. I gotta work on that elevator pitch. I'll ask my husband. My husband's really good at explaining stuff, so I gotta write down exactly how to explain Galdor. Not at all. I find this interesting. Great. Mike, I eventually, once I get like to 50 followers and stuff, I need you to tell me how to do those little exclamation point like things in chat where you can like trigger a something to come up, either a link or whatever. I don't know how to do those. So since this game is based on Minecraft, will it be combat or all or no? Yes, there will be combat. There is going to be. We were actually, me and Stefan were actually discussing that. There's going to be the general vibe. No, you cuddle the zombies. Don't kill them. I mean, if you want to. I suspect, and I'm going to let my players know that combat is not always the answer. So honestly, combat might be there, might come up, or it might not. It is actually entirely up to them. But we were actually talking about that, and we're going to take the idea from Stardew Valley, where we put all the combat in a dungeon that exists close by to where they live. And if they want to go fight stuff, they can. But if they want to stay out and farm or romance NPCs or whatever it is that they want to do, they absolutely can. So there's still going to be combat. For example, after they meet at the and get on their way to where they're going, there is going to be a potential fight here, yeah, of a dark mantle. You know, the guys that like to pretend that they're stalactites or stalagmites in caves. And later on there's going to be some kobolds, which they can choose to make friends with or not. I'm hoping they do, honestly, because it's more interesting than just murdering them. Because I'd like the kobolds to be their, like, first villagers in this place, where it's like, we build good, yeah, okay, let's go. And they just, like, bring, like, this load of kobolds to, message you later with a link and try to get you set up with Nightbot and basic commands. Yeah, okay, cool, thank you. That reminds me, I just rejoined a campaign I left last year, and apparently the pet zombie me and another player had attained somehow became a big cult. Oh no. It's always fun when your character can accidentally inspire a cult. It's really funny. Um, but yeah, message me later about that, Mike, but we'll figure that out together. So yeah, there are options for combat, but if the characters just want to make pets of everything, sure, why not? Gives me more NPC. My NPCs are my favorite part of D&D. Just making... Don't you dare. Psst. My cat's trying to eat flowers. Don't! Hey! Stop it. Um, but yeah, my favorite part of running games is, don't you dare! Hey! Stop it. Uh, is creating and voicing NPCs, especially off the cuff. When you can just make up a funny voice and the characters are immediately in love with them. Yeah, it's the best. I just love doing that, and I try to make all of my NPCs either hot or adorable. And that's it. Um, so yeah, that's the general idea. Um, what is this? Oh. Who made your emotes? They're so silly. Uh, I have a friend that's gonna, one of my players actually is gonna draw some general stuff. Some shy boys. Oh yes, I have one already. Hang on, let me, I gotta, god damn it. I gotta, maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow, but I do have to organize my NPC notes. But so far, my NPCs that I have, so I've got, this is gonna be Carrion. They're gonna be a they, them, shy boy, tiefling, taxidermist slash tailor, which I'm very excited for. He's gonna be a shy, awkward, kind of creepy boy. He's gonna be like the Addams Family without the confidence. I got a bunch from Etsy and made a couple ones myself. Oh, I didn't even know Etsy did stuff like that. That's cool. This is the person that's going to be hiring them. And this is Flora Flutterby. She is a moth folk, as you can tell. She is actually from the Feywild, and she accidentally got trapped on the material plane side of things, and she doesn't know how or how to get back, which will be, you know, an overarching story. I love this artist. Again, I cannot... Hang on. Where's my... Is it this person? Hang on. I try very hard to credit the... Oh, god damn it. I found this artist on Tumblr, and I think they have since deleted their account. So I don't know... Sergio Castaneda? Is that them? Nope. Okay, yeah, see, Pinterest makes it difficult to credit sometimes, so I beg your pardon. If you happen to know who drew this amazing, amazing art, let me know. I never want to use art I don't have permission to, but I am not making money off of this. This is just a reference for me to type up description, when a fave artist deactivates. So much of Tumblr is deactivated now. There was so many good artists. So I cannot find them. But if anyone comes across them at any point, let me know. So that's the person giving them the job. Let's see, that was Carrion. This is going to be the woodworker, adorable dragonborn. This is my Warlock's patron, who is based upon, I shouldn't say based upon because he actually is. If you're familiar with Shakespearean Midsummer Night's Dream, he is Puck. That's her Fey patron. That's what he looks like under the mask. He's kind of like a weird uncle for her, which I'm excited to mess with that kind of, idea. This is gonna be the bartender that they talk to first. This is the person that owns the closest shop to them before they leave Hollow Hill. This is the queen. This is Queen Caspia of Arcadia. She was actually made by Melora to serve as a queen. My husband had a bunch of ideas regarding that. Which I will go over eventually too. Oh, whoops. Ooh, I almost X'd out of my stream. That would have been bad. Then I've got a bunch of more, but eventually I will set up my NPCs to be kind of like this, but actually like describing and showing pictures. I have to go for my Spanish class. Have a good day and hope your anxiety gets better. You're gonna do great. Thank you, Azul. Have fun in Spanish. I will talk to you later. Thank you for dropping by. But yeah, so I will organize these to be better because Cassette, one of my other chatters, did ask for me to talk about how I organize my notes, and that's always something I love to see other DMs show off how they organize their session and campaign notes. And I know a lot of them use like World Anvil or Obsidian Portal and stuff. I've never personally liked those sites. I don't know why. Hi Arcane, welcome in. Uh, uh, oh, you've been here. Hasta luego. You've been here, haven't you? God, my brain is so fried. I'm sorry. Um, but but yeah, I'm gonna organize all my notes before I make the video that, or was it Arcane that one of you asked it for it? I don't know who it was, honestly. Sorry. But yeah, I'll get that all organized and I'll make it make sense. Hopefully. I don't like that they tend to focus on the online parts of the service. Yes, yes, that is my problem. Like I have a my fellow player in my World of Darkness campaign made a whole wiki for that world, and it was great. Give me offline stuff I can put into a file. At least more. It was you, Arcane. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I at least more accessible. Yeah, the only problem with Notion here is it doesn't have an offline mode, and they keep doing fucking AI bullshit that I don't give a damn about. So that's why I also do Google Docs. Because that gives me a little bit more control over stuff. The problem that I might run into in this campaign is where it's being held is in a building that I never ever get internet in, which is really annoying. It's not the end of the world, but as a DM that A enjoys background music, and B likes to have no, which is why I'm partially why I'm audio recording it so I can refer back to it and update my notes on here and, go back and forth that way. So hopefully that works out well for me. And it just kind of keeps it in my brain a little better than just kind of going, who was that NPC? Because the amount of NPCs who, A, I've forgotten the name of, the role of, or the voice of, holy shit, that's a lot. But yeah. So yeah, I will organize this stuff better, and I will work on that video sometime soon. Again, like I said, probably after the campaign actually starts, just so I get the general, like, relief of getting it started, and then I'll have a little bit more brain power to work on a game, or on a video. I was cleaning the other day, found some of my old unpainted minis from back when we gamed for the first time years ago. Nice! But so yeah, I just have to here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a to-do list for myself of stuff that I gotta do before the first campaign, or the first session. So oops, to-do list. Alright, so first I've got to finish flashback. Gonna get some cleaning done and lurk. Okay, thank you for stopping by, Steinman. I appreciate you very much. Finish flashback scenes. Write. Print letters to players or to characters from Flora. We've been rewriting their character sheets as well. We've got that because I've said this before, but I had some custom character sheets that are super cute, but they actually didn't have all the information provided on the sheet, which is kind of a rookie move. So we actually had to kind of move everything that they already wrote to over to classic D&D sheets, which is not a big deal, and we needed to finish some stuff anyway. But but yeah. So um figure out potential city event. I don't think I need to do the calendar, but I'll just put it on the to-do list anyway. I don't need to have that done before the session, but it'd be good to think about it. I like naming months and days and stuff like that. So that'll be fun. Um, Finish list of gods. Finish item cards. We're giving each player at least one little trinket that is relevant to their backstory. Some small magical item, like one gives somebody like a necklace that gives you access to druidcraft. There's another one that, hang on. These are all these all my husband made because he's the mechanical guy. So we have a necklace from one of the player's wives, excuse me, the character's wives, that gives them either a small amount of temp HP or lets them stay at 1 HP if their HP drops to 0. We have a coin that is technically like, and I know you've mentioned your pre-session anxiety, but I have to say you are so organized and so prepared. I love it. Oh my god, I wish that's how it felt in my brain. I appreciate it though. I'm a list person. I'm a big list person. And the problem with that is that I'll put a list somewhere and then I'll forget where the list is. That happens so much. I'm really not that organized because I forget where my organization notes go. But luckily, I have video proof that I have lists on here, so I can harken back to that at least. Then I have a coin that, like, you can actually speak a command word, and it actually works almost close to, well, it's a slightly less powerful immovable rod. Where it's like a DC 25 strength, so they basically have to roll a 20 or be really strong, or it's like 1,000 pounds to move. So, but it's a coin, so it's not as crazy. And then, yeah, and then I've got the one that gives you Druidcraft at will. So, those are the three I have. We just need one more for our resident Warlock. So, I'll start a new list and end up finding the OG list later all the time. All the time, dude. So, get the item cards. Finish list of gods. We needed to... Oh, we needed to... Starting gold. Backgrounds. That kind of stuff. I already went over lines and veils. Luckily, my players are very cool about that kind of stuff. Yeah, so, again, I'm gonna guess nobody will be interested in watching me write for 2 hours or whatever, so I'll probably do the flashback scenes off stream. If you guys want me to read them to you, maybe I'll do that. That'll be a big spoiler for my players, but we'll, we'll do, again, I'll write and print the letters also separate from the stream because it's not interesting. Maybe we'll work on the calendar together next. Maybe this Wednesday it'll be World Building Wednesday. My cat is yelling at me. He wants to eat. It's almost time. So maybe that's what we'll do next. World Building Wednesday. So we'll get back to the world building because today was just kind of a stream to deal with the anxiety. It is going down, by the way. It is lessening. So less of a weight on my chest. Hopefully it stays away. But most of this stuff is stuff that's going to happen off stream. So the calendar I think is going to be a big time a time sync, so we'll do that on Wednesday because I can stream longer on Wednesdays because I don't have to go to the gym. Um, because it's my rest day. So yeah, I think that'll be the next on the time for a gummy. I avoided a gummy today. They don't help with my anxiety, really. Um, I got too high last. There's a couple streams ago where I was just all over the place. I took off a bit too much, I guess. Or like I usually take off the same amount, but I don't know if like the mixture was weird on that gummy or what. But I was just kind of like for way too much of that stream. So I avoided it today just because I didn't want to be like that again, on top of being anxious. Um, but when it gets hard enough to like actually fuck with my chest and my breathing, the CBD doesn't and the THC doesn't help. Checks the VOD. Yeah. I don't remember which VOD it was, but I was just like, there was one where I was just like, sorry, I'm like this. It was because I was too high. And it's not like I was blasted. I was just enough where I was just like, where am I? Every now and again. It's not an interesting like high like look at all. It's just me being kind of like disassociating and stuff like that. Because I think almost every stream before that, I was nibbling my THC gummies. I only got a little bit, just enough to keep my brain going and letting me talk. Um, but since I felt I had plenty to talk about today, because of the anxiety, I kind of stepped back and I wanted to be honest about my anxiety without, having to get high to deal with it. So that's what we did today. The gym will also help once I get there this afternoon, so that'll be good too. Get some of that cardio, cardio in, and lift some heavy things. And oh, it's leg day. I don't want to go. Oh God. Oh, it's not the bad leg day though. This is actually the good leg day. The bad leg day is on Thursday. That's the one with step ups and hip thrusts and all that shit. It's awful. I hate. That's my least favorite day. But uh, anyway. So yeah, I think that's what we'll do next time. So any of you DMs out there that have ideas or the stanky leg day, that's what it feels like when I'm walking out and I'm just like, oh God. Um, but yeah, any DMs or creatives or any of you world builders out there that have ideas on calendars, notes on calendars that you've made in the past or ideas that you've had from the past, bring them over on Wednesday. That's what we'll talk about then. I've never made a calendar from scratch, so that'll be fun. I'll try to get the tables and stuff set up beforehand. I think Notion has a template for that I can use, so that'll be interesting. But I am going to call it here. I'm glad you all were interested enough to stick around and listen to me talk about my feelings for an hour. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you guys were so supportive of that. And it might happen again. I don't know if I'll need to stream about it. Depends, I guess, on how bad it is or how much I need to talk it out. But for those of you in chat or lurking, it'll depend on my suns and moons you have as well. Yeah, that I need to figure out as well. But oh yeah, I do need to figure out planetary bodies. Buddies. So yeah, you ruined my train of thought. God damn it. I'm not high today, I swear. But yeah, I appreciate you all. We are so close to 50 followers, which will get me to affiliate. And if I can just make a small amount of money doing this, just, I don't know how any of that stuff works, honestly, but I am trying. There are no jobs where I am right now. None. There not even server positions are hiring right now. So, I'm really trying to bring some money into the house and not be a mooch on my dear husband. So if you guys know anybody that you think that would be interested in my content, or if you want to share it with your gaming group or whatever, I would greatly appreciate you helping getting the word out. and just a follow. I'm not requiring anybody to be a sub or anything. God forbid, no. But just the opportunity eventually, and like I have tips down below. I never mention it. I know, but because I don't know. But it's it's something. This is something that I'm doing because I care about it, but I'm also doing it because it's something I feel like I have something to offer, at least something that I haven't seen before, you know? So, if at any point you guys feel I am worthy of such a thing, all of it is appreciated. And hopefully I can make this channel better. With Mike's help, Mike, Llama Llama Mike, here in chat, he does great Lego build videos, and he does some gameplay with friends, and he's really funny. I've been friends with him for, oh my god, Mike, how long have we known each other? I don't even know. He was in my gaming group way back. Um, yes, one of the ones that died because of my anxiety. Uh, but two of them actually. You've been in two games that have been murdered because of my anxiety. Yeah, it's been 10 plus years. We worked together forever ago, and yeah. So go check him out as well. Follow him. He's a fun stream to watch when you just need to vibe. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to make this channel better, and my husband will keep supporting me through my anxieties, and we're gonna figure this out, and it's gonna be good. I really do think that. I'm gonna keep grinding at it, and even if it takes 100 years, it's world building. World building never truly ends, I don't think. So I'm gonna go eat some lunch, get ready for the gym, and then maybe I'll play some D&D with my husband tonight. I don't know, we'll figure that out. But I appreciate all of you so much. You have no idea. And I hope to see you Wednesday, ready for calendar building. And yes, big hugs, Mike. Thank you so much for dropping by. I'm so glad you finally got the time and the schedule to get in here. I'll continue to try to drop by your streams when I see you on. Uh, but yeah, I'm gonna go feed my cats. Thank you all so much. Drink your water, take your meds, don't forget to play pretend, and have a good day. I love you guys. Thank you, thank you. Have a good day. Bye.